Felix Berg. I'm the founder and CEO of ChopValue, and we recycle chopsticks for a living, a viable concept for the circular economy. ChopValue is located in Vancouver. That's where it all started, and we have locations with our first franchise in Calgary, Montreal, and we are about to expand to the US. And we have about 34 or 35 on staff at the moment. We have recycled close to 30 million chopsticks to date into new beautiful products. Yeah, we often describe this humble chopstick as a symbol for circular economy, because to us it explains in a very easy example what circular economy means. It's something that is supposed to be thrown out after 20 or 30 minutes in use without any value, and we're taking that to prove a viable business concept in a new value-added product. And that's what circular economy is all about. We make all sorts of products, from homeware to sustainable home decor, height adjustable desks, and even restaurant tables for our participating partners to go full circle. Everywhere where performance matters, of a beautiful new engineered material. Yes, so during 2020, we obviously were looking for some positive news, and that's why we launched a new product brand called Smile. And it stands for a shelving module for the inspired living environment. And it's a beautiful new shelving system that is modular, minimalist, and simplistic, and hopefully fits into every home. So just like you see in front of me, we're not only making feature products and feature installations out of our offcuts to reach zero waste, but we're also creating keychains, name tags, luggage tags, and all sorts of small little products to create value to even our smallest minimal pieces. The environmental initiative that is obviously at the forefront of ChopValue is we recycle chopsticks as part of a waste conversion strategy for restaurants and businesses. And while doing that, we're obviously trying to keep our process energy balance in mind. We are measuring every single step, just that we know what we're doing, and we know live our carbon footprint. So I think our impact obviously starts at the relationships we build with partner restaurants, businesses, institutions like YVR Airport, where we pick up the chopsticks as part of our collection program. We also provide chopsticks, which is actually a subscription program for the circular economy called Chopstick Plus. So we're going full circle with a vertical integration. So that's one of the impact we have. After they enter our facility, they get sorted, screened, and aligned, these little chopsticks, up to 350,000 per week in every single microfactory we have. And then they get dried and pressed with a lot of heat, steam, and pressure into the new engineered material. That engineered material is then the modular tile that we process into our handcrafted new beautiful products that we then place with our retail partners, just like Simon's or Nordstrom or Nada, to work with, to create then impact on education through our products within their communities. The advice I would give to anyone who is motivated to start a business within the circular economy is do it, because we need it. Even if you fail, you show that you try, and you show how hard it is to be more resource efficient, because every single new business that starts should keep circular economy as a basis and a foundation as a concept. If anything, we have refocused on the purpose of our business, and that is being positive and knowing that the climate crisis doesn't get a break just because we're in the middle of a pandemic. So if anything, we got more motivated to do a better job and be even more resource efficient. So we hired, I think, 10 or 11 new people since COVID started. We continue to expand our collection model with restaurants to compensate for less amount that we could recycle with the existing partners we have because of limited dine-in. And that is a win-win. That investment is a win-win for the future, because with increasing restaurant partners in the future, we will get an increasing amount that we can recycle in 2021 and beyond.
Amazing. That was a really cool insight into the factory and how you guys create your products. My manager and I, Tom, got to go to the factory itself, and it was just so interesting to see how you guys, take chopsticks, which is essentially just going to the waste, and make these beautiful products from it. Yeah, it's amazing to see. If anybody has any questions, now is a great time. Oh, we have one now from Sophie. She asks, where in the US have you considered expanding?
That's a good question, Sophie. So I think the concept works in any metropolitan city environment, and right now we're having around 6 leads, and we're currently looking at Los Angeles, Las Vegas, San Francisco, Seattle, New York, and Miami, just in the US. So we hope that some of them are, despite COVID, recover well with their local economies, and that we're getting through the due diligence, because they actually have to fill out quite a long due diligence process to see if they have the right team, the right market entry strategy, and then we evaluate with our team if they are the right fit to open up a ChopValue microfactory the most successful way.
Wow, that's a lot of places. That's very exciting.
Ooh, Portland. Yes, Portland is 100% has to be on the list. Super well known for artists, woodworking, handcrafted products. So one of the brands I look up to in the wood world is Grove Made, and I think we definitely want to get to Portland soon. Yeah,
it's a very good city, and I feel like ChopValue fit in so well there. It's just so unique, and great product. If anybody has any other questions, maybe in the meantime, Felix, you could tell people about your background. I think it's really interesting to see like where you started and like how you conceptualize this.
Yeah, sure. So I think it's one of these ideas that your mom is obviously not proud when you tell her that you're a garbage man from one day to another. So it takes some more explanation how I got here. And the main reason is, so my background is wood engineering, and I worked on my PhD in structural bamboo products. And my friends always made fun of me that there is no bamboo in Vancouver, so why moving to Vancouver to study bamboo? And I always joked that if I ever run out of resource, there's so much underutilized resource in the city, I would just start harvesting chopsticks. And that thought just never left me again. So pretty much the next day, I said that out loud to my friends. I started ChopValue because I thought, if I can prove that we can create a viable business simply by using chopsticks, I hope others will see how much waste we actually have that should not be wasted. I hope we can set an example that, when we are successful, others can be as well.
Wow.
First, from Catherine.
Yes.
I just saw it popping up. The first steps, very easy. $200 investment for recycling bins that I placed in 10 restaurants in Kitsilano. So Kitsilano is one of the neighborhoods here in Vancouver, for those who are online and are not from Vancouver. Obviously I tricked myself into success, because Kitsilano is probably very perceptive to recycling programs and a positive movement for the environment. So I always wanted to make it work. So I placed the recycling bins at some of the local restaurants, and I left on vacation. That was probably my last vacation. And I went for 2 weeks. And when I came back, we had more than 60,000 chopsticks in our collection boxes. And this is when the responsibility really hits you. All of a sudden, it works. All of a sudden, you have material that you can't just stop the program anymore. And truth to be told, since then, we have never missed a recycling day, and once a week we pick up from our restaurant partners now, more than 300 to get our resource into our facility. This was how it started.
Wow. Yeah, there's no going back once you. I don't want to butcher your name, Janine. Hopefully I said it right, but Janine asks, have businesses always been receptive to you collecting their chopsticks? Were there any major difficulties in overcoming that?
Yeah, I always tell the story of one of my favorite sushi restaurants as a student is California Sushi on Broadway. And because it's budget friendly and I love the portions, I had to go in there 9 times before they said yes. And every single time I walked in there, I had the exact same approach, the same smile, and I really just tried to explain them that I'm not trying to selling them anything. All we're doing is picking up your chopsticks for free, and I always showed them, like, this is what we do with it. We create coasters and hexagon tiles and all these beautiful products. So you're helping to create new opportunities, new businesses, and we want you to be part of it. And every single time I brought them a coaster with Sushi California engraved, or I brought them a little keychain, and they were always kicking me out again. So there are different approaches to how you sign up restaurant partners, because they're obviously always busy. They're really tight on cash. But that's also why we came up with the Chopstick Plus subscription program, where now the first time we can actually offer restaurants cost savings with our recycling program, where we can tell them it's not just a free program. We actually now offer you chopsticks subscribed for $99 a month. You can get unlimited chopsticks. You don't have to worry ever again about the cost of chopsticks as long as you recycle them with us. And that seems to work really well, because at the end of the day, small businesses have to work hard to survive, especially in the restaurant industry. And that seems to resonate well with our program.
That must have felt nice to finally get Sushi California on board. You're like, yes. Yeah. Sophie asked, do restaurants tell their customers about your program and mission to promote your work?
Sorry, do restaurants tell their customers about your program mission? Okay. They do, they should. Some of them are really, really proud to tell the story. Others, they never ever talk to us or even met us, because we're pretty much ghosts. We're going in and out through the kitchen to be as little friction, as little work as possible for them. That's maybe half of the restaurant partners, and the other half is really they tell every customer about, hey, this table is actually made out of our recycled chopsticks, or we are part of this program and we are so proud with it. So it's a good marketing story for them as well.
Yeah, Janine says, love your determination. Idea is incredible, and we need more entrepreneurs like that. So true. It's very entrepreneurial of you to keep on going in over and over to Sushi Cali. It's the resilience that I think entrepreneurs have that makes you successful. Anna asks, hi Felix, I recently found 30 pairs of unused chopsticks hoarded at my partner's house. Can households donate chopsticks to ChopValue?
Of course, we never say no to chopsticks. Chopsticks is we call it the green gold of our cities. So we need all your chopsticks in our production so we can turn them into new beautiful coasters. You can check out our map online. Every recycling partner is perceptive for you to just drop them off in the restaurants, or you just drop them off in our microfactory if you live in Vancouver.
Great. Oh, that's awesome. Does anyone else have? Oh, Cynthia. Oh, can we also drop off used chopsticks?
Oh yeah, of course. So this is like just in case it's not clear, the 350,000 chopsticks we collect per week, they are all recycled and used chopsticks. So our production process is obviously set up so that they all go into their little COVID quarantine, and then after the chopsticks have come out of their 2-week quarantine outside, they come into our production process where they get turned into these beautiful new products like cutting boards and tabletops and all other sort of things.
Mm-hmm. I remember you guys also mentioning during the tour that it gets heated in this um, oven or something, really high temperature.
There's a lot of heat, steam, and pressure that gets applied to these to the chopsticks before they get turned into this new material. We don't use any chemicals. We don't use any excess water because we don't want to create more waste in the process. And that's the only way also how we can keep carbon neutral or carbon negative in some of our locations.
Catherine asks, how are you making your first prototype before you had heavy machinery?
Yeah, so I think the stars aligned with my background. So the first machine, you can't make a prototype without heavy machinery, creating such a dense and strong product as we have. So when I had the idea for it, a part of setting up the recycling program for the restaurants, I also immediately started designing and engineering the machines. So we built a hydraulic hot press that had more than 150 tons of pressure to make the first prototype. And that is obviously lucky or fortunately, that's my background in mechanical and wood engineering. So this is how we came up with the production process.
That's super interesting. Joe asks, will the city trying to reduce single-use items affect your business?
Yeah, I think in a positive way, because, truth be told, we can't go in all industry sectors into reusables. I'm a big fan of doing the life cycle assessments of reusables versus disposables as well, because what we found out, for instance, is that reusable chopsticks that would be made out of plastic actually have a worse carbon footprint than disposable ones, because you have to also consider that reusables have a lifetime, and sometimes that lifetime is only 2 or 3 months in high traffic restaurants. Another example is we're talking to airlines that have to remove their reusable plastics, but at the same time it's not feasible to transport cutlery that is reusable and too heavy for flights, which makes them to implement bamboo or birch wood cutlery, and that is obviously a great resource for us to, in the future, turn into new products. So I'm a big fan of natural disposables that can be, as long as they are part of a circular economy and can turn into second life products that have a long lifetime afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Okay, another question is from Janine. How do restaurants learn about this program? Is there a way to create an incentive program for restaurant managers so they spread the word and tell other restaurants about it?
I think it's a nice idea, but restaurant managers are very, very busy, and of course they have their nice little network, but the biggest success for us to spread the story is to go one by one into each restaurant and build the community and build the relationships, because it's not done with a call or with an email. We actually visit every single restaurant in person to build that relationship with them, to explain them how important it is to be part of the program. Then later on, just to answer Kate's question as well, the moment ChopValue becomes successful as a core model, the production and the microfactory concept is set up to switch resources in the future, where the exact same logistics and the exact same concept of how to make products can be applied to disposable cutlery and many other materials.
That'd be amazing if you guys were able, to tap into other waste streams like that, because we have so much waste here, and
right.
You guys already have a cool model set up to create that. Tom asks, what products are currently your best sellers? Are you focusing on business to consumers or selling business to business to move these products?
So ironically, the wall decor behind me, the hexagon tiles and hexagon shelves, is the product that we launched at very first when we launched the business. And when you talk to 100 people, especially later on investors, 99 of them told me it's impossible to build a business with a product that doesn't solve a problem and just looks good. Truth to be told, it's still the best-selling product 4 years later. It's the most successful products on Simon's, for example. Everyone loves the mix and match starter set that comes in 9 pieces and you can put on your wall without making any holes. So it's a nice story to tell, and hopefully a lesson for everyone who has a good idea, that it's totally normal to hear 99 times a no and 1 yes, and that 1 yes is what you can get your motivation from. Because even if I scale that up over 4 years, I would still say I got 990 no's and 10 yeses to get where I am today. And it takes a lot of energy and motivation to convince yourself that this stupid little hexagon tile behind me is actually a successful product, because it has a great story and is a great icebreaker. If you invite someone to your home and you have nothing to talk about, and you can point on your wall and say, do you know I have 1,800 chopsticks on my wall? It always works, right? And following that is our second bestseller is our coasters. Nada has them as well in their stores with a beautiful engraving on the side. It's a really cool gift and a great conversation starter. And we're now just slowly getting all our products in scale into big retailers that resell our products, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can you tell us more about your Smile Shelf too? I recently saw that you guys were in Muji. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So, Muji is obviously one of my dreams, because when you look at their brand values, simplicity, timeless design, quality, durability, that's all the concept of what we need to thrive for in a circular economy, right? Like whenever we are trying to reduce a waste stream, we need to make sure that the products we make out of it are, first of all, environmental friendly. Second of all, capture this carbon as long as we can to avoid emissions. And this is how we also design our process. It took me about 10 years, throughout industry and academic career to develop the resin, which is non-toxic and recyclable for this product, so that we are not creating something that is not recyclable at the end again. And I think that answers Catherine's question. We are not using any chemicals or water in the cleaning process, but we obviously have to use something that binds our product together. And that is not 20 or 25% of epoxy, what usually the trolls say. It's just 6% water-based resin that is 100% recyclable, is non-formaldehyde, and is fully degradable when it comes to the decomposition at the end. And I think this is kind of where science doesn't really matter here, because common sense is so much more important when you talk about the products. We once set up the recycling program out at UBC at the University of British Columbia, and that's where I also did my PhD. And then all of a sudden, from one day to another, they canceled the program. And I asked them why. Why do you think, why would you want to cancel this recycling program? And they said, we rather see the chopsticks going into the compost than into your products. And I think that is a misconception, where if you, I don't know how you can justify to feel good about transporting a chopstick 6,000 miles from a bamboo forest in China to your lunch plate. You're using it for 20 minutes and you're throwing it into the compost. I just don't understand the common sense behind that, considering how much energy has gone into that and how much effort has gone into a 20-minute life cycle. So everything but compost should be the answer here, to do it simply better. And it doesn't need a life cycle assessment to understand that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why did they cancel the program, if you remember?
I think they just simply didn't answer questions, like Catherine asked, how is it made? Like, are you sure you are doing the right thing? Can you back it up? And all these things triggered us to invest into, we have a 60-page urban impact report that is public on our website. And we're so proud to have that, because every single applicant, it doesn't matter if it's a production staff or management staff, has to study our urban impact report to fully understand what we do. And that is all triggered by the learning of, we have to actually educate people, just like institutions like UBC, who are drawing conclusions that are maybe just a misperception.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. Did you always know that you wanted to start some sort of business while you're studying or doing all your work, or was it something that just kind of fell upon you after you brought out those recycling bins?
Yeah, when I was 6 years old, and I grew up in the Alps in Germany, I told my mom one day I want to recycle chopsticks for a living. Of course not. No, I had no idea that I would actually end up trying to, lead by example. So, truth to be told, this business exists because our team feels a very, very, very strong sense of responsibility to send a message that it's possible. We are not afraid of saying we're making money while doing good. Using business as a force for good is, I hope, a term that everyone has heard so far, because I think it has to be the norm for every new business that starts. Mm-hmm. And then it feels just so fulfilling and so exciting to be part of change or lead the change. Like, we have now 34 people on staff who can come home to their families and friends telling them, I literally worked for a recycling chopstick company. Can you believe it? Yeah. So this is very, very fulfilling, and has nothing to do with any of my personal career ambitions that I've ever had, because I've never been happier.
Yeah, it's super fulfilling knowing that you're contributing something meaningful and of value to the world. And yeah, it's amazing that you're leading things like the circular economy. Like, your business is actually such a good example of what is possible for the future. Yeah.
Thank you.
Kate asks, do you feel like most of your customers are environmentally minded people, or do they come to you not knowing you avoid virgin extraction in order to build your products, and they just like your products?
Kate, I think we started in a niche. I think the early adopters were definitely the ones that were very sustainably familiar with what's important for new products. But today we're definitely experimenting with how do consumers react on simply when we market our products as design or beautifully designed quality products, because we obviously, when we want to go broad, we need to reach these customers as well. And this is one of the reasons why we were doing the experiment with Smile, our Kickstarter campaign. We wanted to rebrand one particular product, give it a name, a positive name, and see if we just lead with design and modularity and beauty. We wanted to see how far can we go, and can we reach a new customer persona that is not just zero waste motivated like you all are, or sustainability oriented like most of our customers are. Because in order to create a bigger impact, we need to reach everyone, and I think our brand has a good opportunity to educate everyone because it's so easy to understand.
Janine asks, have you considered getting in contact with the Zero Waste Conference that happens in Vancouver every year?
I've been speaking at every year's Zero Waste Conference in Vancouver. Oh. So I'm not sure if you missed me or I missed you probably, Janine. but I think it's happening this year on November 17th, maybe. And yeah, I hope you can say hi when I'm speaking there.
Yeah, she says she'll see you there. Tom asks, do you offer customization within your homeware product line for consumers?
We do. So every homeware product can be, customized, engraved or personalized with our laser engraver or laser cutter. It's super nice for gifting or creating that personal touch for the homeware products, especially as wedding gifts. Like I think big cutting boards that are really heavy, that are personalized, are nice wedding favors. We also do custom sizing for larger order sizes. So it's nice to have these micro factories that are very flexible in the offering, and you actually talk to real people who are building the products. So that's a big value proposition of our concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a huge value add. Like, it's not just one big warehouse where you can't customize anything. It's like, oh, no, you just got to talk to one of the builders. And
it's one of the reasons why we are franchising, because we want to make sure that, each community where we pop up with our ChopValue microfactories, it's actually made local by local talent with local resources for the local people again. So there's always that really, really strong sense of community building and relationships. And that being told, there's still orders that come in nationally and internationally that just have to be produced and pushed out. But a majority of the business will always be supporting local.
Mm-hmm. I think that's such a better way to do it, and very in brand with ChopValue, because you're not adding extra waste when it's not needed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any additional questions here? We just have a couple more minutes before we wrap up and let you guys go back to your afternoons, your lunches. Janine says, thank you. This was awesome to hear. I agree.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And I'm happy I was able to share a little bit more during today's field trip.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on to Not a Field Trips with us, Felix. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having us come to your little microfactories as well. It was so cool to see how you guys made your products and how you're impacting the Vancouver community. Yeah, I think everyone was very happy and excited to hear your story and listen to you speak.
Awesome. Thank you. And don't forget to connect with us on chopvalue.com or on Instagram or Twitter. Let us know if we can support you with any holiday gifting, and you could just get in touch with us.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I think that will be the end of our event today. Thank you all so much for coming and spending your lunch break with us. We're excited for the next Not a Field Trip, so keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, enjoy your afternoon. Have a good day. Thank you so much, ChopValue and Felix, for coming on today.
Anytime. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.